One of the most common requests that I get from QlikSense users is, can you give me permission to reload apps? In this video, I'll show you the steps that I follow to give users permission to access and start reload tasks in QMC for apps they have access to. Let's get started. As a quick overview, to make this work, we'll need to do these 5 things. We'll need to create and assign a user role to a user that needs to be able to start reload tasks. And we'll need to create 4 security roles. One to allow user access to tasks section of QMC. Another to allow user access to reload tasks. Third, to allow access to reload task triggers, and fourth, to give user permission to update apps. These 4 security roles and the new role will allow you to give any user you like the ability to access the tasks section in QMC and reload apps that the user has access to. And once the security rules are in place, giving user permission to reload tasks will be as easy as assigning user a role. So let's get started and get this role and the security rules created. The first step is to create a user role. This is the easiest part. To create new user role, all you have to do is go to the users section of QMC, select a user that needs to be able to reload apps, click the edit button, and then click this add role button and type in the name of the new role. I'll call mine Reload Task Initiator. This will be the person that can initiate reloads of tasks. And I'll click the apply button. That's all it takes to create a new role. Now, at this point, the user can't really access any QMC sections or do anything in QMC. The role we just created doesn't give a user any permissions. We'll need to create security roles for this role to be effective. Let's do that next. So let's go to the security rules section and create a new security rule that will let this user access tasks section in QMC. Let's enter the name and a description, something like this. Then for the resource filter, we can select the QMC section from the list of available options. To give user access to tasks QMC section, you'll have to know the secret QMC resource filter, which is QMC section _ task. For actions, I'll leave read selected. And in the condition section, I'll change the name property to roles, and the value in the value section, the new role we created is not showing up yet, so I'll just type it in. Sometimes you have to reload the page in order for the new role to show up. Lastly, since we're giving access to a resource in QMC, to a QMC section, we'll need to change the context to only in QMC. Now, unfortunately, we can't preview the impact of this role. Qlik hasn't developed the ability to audit QMC section access, so we'll just have to trust that it works. Actually, we don't have to trust. We can just check and see for ourselves. If I go back to user's account and reload the QMC page, notice that the user can now access the task section, but the task section is empty. Let's fix that next. So let's jump back to QMC and click this add another button. Same as before, I'll add the name and the description. And for the resource filter, I'll select reload tasks. I'll leave the read access selected. We don't need any other permissions for this one. We just want the user to be able to see the tasks so that he or she can start them. And for the condition, you'll need this one. This condition is essentially saying any user that was assigned the Reload Task Initiator role can see the reload tasks of the apps that he or she has access to. Next, we'll switch the context to only QMC, and this one we can actually preview. I'll click the preview button twice, because once apparently is not enough. There you go. Once this rule is created, the one user we assigned the Reload Task Initiator role will be able to see the reload tasks of the apps he has access to. Let's see that in action. I'll click the apply button and jump back to user's PC and reload the QMC page. Okay, so sometimes you have to close and reopen the browser to see impact of a new rule, and that's what's happening here. I'll go ahead and close and reopen the page, and there you go. This, however, is not enough. If I select a task and click the start button, I'll get this error message. This operation failed due to insufficient privileges. It's talking about me not having the permission to update this app. Also, unrelated to this error message, if I double click the task, you'll notice that I can't see task triggers. Let's fix the triggers problem first and then address the app reload permissions. So just as before, I'll click the add another button and enter the rule name and description. For resource filter, just like with the QMC section, there's no visible resource filters for reload tasks. And to make things extra complicated, Qlik didn't name the resource filter for task triggers as task trigger. That would be way too easy. What they did instead is break up the event-based triggers and schedule triggers into separate resource filters and called them composite event, which is a secret word for event-based triggers, and schema event, that's the schedule triggers. All right, we don't want users to be creating or changing or deleting the triggers, so I'll just leave the action as read. And for conditions, it will be the same as for the tasks QMC section. User roles equals reload task initiator. Context is only in QMC. And just as with the QMC sections, we can't preview this one. But I'll go ahead and click the apply button to get this rule created. Now let's jump back over to the user's PC and reload the QMC page to see if it worked. Once I reload the page, I should see a task trigger here. And there it is. The rule worked. The user is now able to see the task triggers. So the task triggers visibility is fixed, but we still can't reload tasks. Let's fix that. The next and last rule that we'll need to create is a rule that will actually allow user to initiate a reload of an app. To do this, let's jump back to QMC and click the add another button. Let's add the name and the description, and select apps as the resource filter. Now for actions, there's no reload action. It would be nice if there was one, but there isn't one. What we need to select instead is the update permission. It's not intuitive, but if you think about it, when an app is loaded with new data, it is technically updated, so it kind of makes sense. The downside of allowing update of apps is that this technically allows the user to update anything in the app, not just the data. It's not ideal, but since the user doesn't have access to the app section of QMC, they won't be able to update any apps anyway. So relatively speaking, this is safe to do. Okay, so for the condition, it will be the same as the one we had for the reload task rule. A user that was assigned reload task initiator role can update apps that he or she has access to. And for context, the context will be only in QMC. Next, let's switch the target resource to apps and click the preview button. There you go. Just as expected, this rule applies to one user and 4 apps that the user has access to. I'll go ahead and click the apply button and get this rule created. And now if I go back to the QMC as the user, you'll see that I now can successfully reload apps. Not easy, I know. This took me hours to figure out, and I hope this video saved you some time. That's all for today. Come back tomorrow for another video where I'll show you how to create reload task management permissions, allowing users to create, update, and delete tasks and task triggers of apps they own. I'll publish that video close to the end of the day on December 10th, and if you can figure out how to enable reload task management permissions before that, drop a comment and let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow with another video showing how to enable reload task management permissions.